and welcome to the Joy Link, where we share with you how to live a more joyful life. I'm your co-host, Brian, and I'm joined by my co-host, Julia. Julia, how are you?
I'm doing great, and I'm looking forward to talk about today's topic, which is work and life balance. And before we dive into it, I would like to ask you two questions. So, who are you without your job title? And what would you do with your life if you would have $10 billion in your bank account?
Amazing questions to really dig into. And we're going to on this episode. So definitely thank you for your time hopping in with us, choosing us from all the other podcasts out there. We definitely appreciate it. And we strive to give you the best content that we can every week, all about how to increase the joy in your life. So definitely thanks for showing up for that.
Yeah, and massive thank you. And in this episode, you will learn about an amazing tool. I think this tool had started that I attracted amazing partner into my life, and we are sharing it with you. You will learn also what's the part of your life the work should play. What is the percentage that, right? Are you your job, or job is a part of your life? We will learn all about it. You will also learn about how to manage your energy, and you will have a chance to look into what is your work identity and also how to break the scale. So, Brian, you have a story that it's quite well known, but I'm sure that some of you have never heard it before. So, the stage is yours.
Right. So there is this funny story about a big time New York banker, right? Who goes on vacation, who goes on holiday to Mexico, and he sees a fisherman who's only, working for a couple hours a day, and then he's relaxing with his family and his friends the rest of the day. And so this Harvard MBA, right? He walks up to the fisherman and they start to get into a chat, and he explains to the guy that he can work by simply working more hours. He can buy a new boat and he can scale up his business. And over a couple, 10 years, 20 years, he can get really big. And then this company could go public and he can make mega millions, right? So then the fisherman goes, well, then what? This is pretty much the kicker. He goes, well, then you can move to a tiny village in Mexico and fish a couple hours a day and hang out with your friends and family. Right. So, that's really the funny part when we're looking at ambition and what we really want. And the real question is that, do we really want to be living that life of the fisherman, right? And because most of us don't. There's no internet, there's no phone, no electricity, living on $125 a month. And that life could be relatively easy to make happen, actually, right? Just simply unplug, go to India or wherever, and goodbye. And so the real point for most of us is that we don't want that life. Yeah. And so then simply by defining what we want and choosing it, right, we have to make a really important choice, and defining that is key.
Yeah, I love this story because it's about, I think the fisherman is very present, right? He knows exactly what he wants. And, me being as a business strategist, I'm also like this ambitious one, like, oh, why don't you do this? But now I've learned that it's all about some people want it and some people don't. But here I just want to mention is that I think everyone can live as the fisherman, but you need to know your numbers. So what are your monthly spendings? How much are you spending each month? Then you can think about the ways how you can get that income running, right? The passive income it's something that you hear all the time, like wherever you go. And then you can figure out the ways, but a lot of people, they are not aware about their numbers, and they are pretending and trying to have a lifestyle to prove something to someone, right? Because there is this, it's called inflation, lifestyle inflation, right? When you are spending more to catch up with other people. But that's the thing, like you can see stuff, you can see cars, you can see houses, but what you cannot see, it's an anxiety, worrying about money, the sleepless nights, and also what troubles this can bring. I'm not saying that every person that is wealthy, they are in troubles, but you don't know. All you can see, it's how much someone paid for a car, let's say, right? But you don't see if this is like a Warren Buffett bank account, or is it like a leasing or a loan from a bank. You cannot see it, so you cannot make that association that the symbols of modern wealth, they are actually wealth, because the only thing that wealth is the choice. So if you have a choice that you can buy or not buy this Ferrari or Porsche, whatever, that's the true wealth. So that's the fisherman. I think the fisherman, it's actually the wealthy man out there, right? Because he had the choice. He could work more, but he chose not to. And that's wealth.
Right. The definitions, the things that we know that are true to us are the most important, right? And no one can tell us that. You know, when it comes to the real story of a work-life balance, I think it was about 15 years ago, something like that, that there was a book that came out that was quite revolutionary at the time. I think it was 2011, and it's by Matthew Kelly, and the book is called Off Balance. And he did a study with 10,000 people, asking all of them the same question. You know, what would you like more, life balance or life satisfaction? And it came back unanimous. Like all of them chose satisfaction. And so, you know, when we look at that term, work and life balance, I know Julie and I feel the same about this. It's that work and life assumes that work is not part of life, right? It's like outside. And when you look at it like that, it's not integrated. So that phrase really doesn't work anymore. And so by simply choosing a new phrase, or we'll tossing it out, we can look at it more like personal and professional satisfaction, right? And then that really defines it a lot more. We can go beyond work-life balance into satisfaction. And then all we really need is a strategy that drives those higher levels of satisfaction every day, like day after day and year after year. Commit to it, and then we can achieve it.
Yeah, so it's like you're saying, it's not about life balance, it's about life satisfaction. And yeah, like breaking it down. I don't believe in work and life balance. Like, I do not believe in that, because there is no switch. I don't know. I don't have it anywhere on my neck, on my arm, that I can say like, Julia work, Julia home, Julia there. For me, like, just think about it. Work, it's a third of your life. But then if you are like majority of us we work with our minds, right? We do not work with our hands. So basically, it's not that you can switch off, right? And then you are working after work. Like, it's not that, okay, I'm recording the journaling episode and this is the only moment when I think about it. No, like wherever I go, if I meet interesting person, they are invited for the journaling. Like I constantly think about it, not constantly, but like a lot of time I spend on it. And then like, it's not going to be like, oh, the hours that I'm working or clocking it on the clock, or with my business. Like, I work, I think 24/7, but it's different because everything what I do, it's aligning with my values. It's coming from service, and I don't want balance from it. I don't want escape from who I am, because I love it. And I'm so freaking proud that I found the courage and that I built something that it's changing other people's life and helping them grow and all of that. And do I want a balance from it? Absolutely not. Then that's the thing. But when I worked before for somebody else that I did not was believing in their mission, that I find like the toxic environment in the office, did I need the weekend? Did I need to drink on Friday? I did. So that's the thing. We need to redefine it. Like, because it's not that it's a self-care, that I have the time during the day to do my yoga, meditation, and all the things for my body and mind, and then I have the work. But we need to define, is it work and life balance that you are seeking of, or you are seeking like a ways to escape your work because you are not fully happy and integrated and aligned with what you do at the moment? That needs to be defined, because if you do something that is draining, then we can talk that maybe you need a balance, but maybe you are just not in the right environment for yourself. And that's facing the truth. So then, yeah. So yeah, this is quite a big point, but
Yeah, it's a very important one to really focus on, right? Because if we're talking about a work and life balance, yeah, that really goes into that employee mindset and the I'm trying to escape from my life and not let work come into my private time. It's a very different thing than entrepreneur mindset. It's like everything is activated. I'm working all the time. I'm enjoying all the time. I'm free all the time. I'm working all the time, right? It's more of a flow than a stop start. And like you said, there's no switch.
yeah. And also, you can also think about, do you have any coping mechanism around your work? So, for example, are you excited on Friday to lay down and do nothing on the couch? Or are you excited, or you cannot wait to drink or smoke weed, or like go out and just forget about what you are doing? Because if this is the case, then I would really encourage you to look deep down. Or maybe that was for me. For example, I ate an enormous amount of cake in the office and binge watched the Netflix TV series to just cope with the fact that I do not live my purpose. And yeah, it was the wild times. But yeah, just look at it. Maybe you have some coping mechanism about your work, because the truth is that that's old mindset, that you need to do something that you don't truly enjoy, and otherwise you cannot make the living. This is just one of the limiting beliefs. So yeah, but this is just to put it into perspective. There is this awesome thing called the wheel of life. You will have that at the end of the episode, and basically this diagram is dividing our life into 8 different areas. And number 1 is physical environment. Number 2, it's business, career, also known as work.
Mhm.
Third one, it's finances. And here, just to put in the perspective, why is it separate? Because the fact that you are having an amazing job as a lawyer, whatever, brain surgeon, doesn't mean that you are good with finances. Those are 2 different sets of skills. Then there is health, there is family and friends, there is romance, personal growth, and fun and recreation. So all of those areas, they conclude as life. So
Right.
it's really cool to see how you are in the work and life balance. Like the business and career is just 1/8 of your entire life, and it's a part of your life. It's not who you entirely are.
Yeah, and so on that wheel, I believe it goes out from the center out to and expands from 0 or 1 to 10. And so you
Correct.
can rate yourself on where you perceive that area of your life and the number you prescribe it. So that what we want to do is have everything on a 10. And that is, of course, you are the master of life and everybody's bowing to you at that point. So, that expectation can be let go of. Yet, pushing for 8s is really great. And if you're 7, that's on the way to an 8. If you're at a 6, I know something really needs some change here. And anything at 5 and below, those are places to really focus on and look at and figure out, okay, what am I doing here? And what can I change here? Right? How can I make this into a higher level of satisfaction in this area? What really needs developed? The Wheel of Life really takes a very valuable look as a mirror to you in the moment. And you may do this every year. I know I do. And you see your numbers change and you can keep a stack of them as well, right? And you can see how you progress because change happens really can be slowly over time and you won't see it. But when you look back on it, you're like, oh, wow, I'm much more joyful or satisfied in this area. So the Wheel of Life is a really great tool for assessing where you are and figuring out what you can do better. And then, like I said before, you've got to commit and then move forward with it.
Yeah, I agree. It's a great tool to assess where you are in the moment. And that's something that I do myself and with my clients. So, whatever you are, let's say on the 5, you can think about, okay, how does 10 looks like and get very specific. And then you can just think about what is this one step that I can do it towards. And I can just tell you fun facts. So that's the promise that how I attracted the right partner right into my life. So when I was putting like a romance scale, I was like, oh my God, I'm not even on 1. I'm on 0 because I realized that I was very shut off to the idea of even dating or being open to someone. I was so focused on myself and on my goals and all of that. So I was like, I don't want to have 0 in this area. This is terrible. I'm like, okay, what can I do? And then I was like, okay, I can flirt a little or whatever, just open myself to it. And then I remember I just, yeah, that's what happened. So it was this little step, right? Like being open to talking to the
Totally.
opposite sex just to start something. And yeah, it definitely spiked the, yeah. So now it's definitely way higher than 1. So
Yeah,
yeah,
but
but
you
I,
moved it.
yeah,
Now it's 0 to a
yeah,
1 by being open to
yeah,
it. Yeah.
exactly.
And then
So
you
so
acted on it. That
yeah.
is how it works.
Yeah, and then also like, yeah, so what is the 10? So I think it's an amazing exercise for you to see because
Yeah.
often we are dissatisfied with where you are when where we are in the moment, but we do not have an idea what does it mean and where do we want to be. And that's a little bit difficult because it's like being unhappy for the sake of being unhappy without
Right.
having this all the tool and beauty of our mind because we are so good at creating stuff, right? So but also I think a good one is the physical environment, right? Like how
Yeah.
what I don't like about it. And then I was like, okay, then I can become more organized or it goes, they are all intertwined because for example, if you are not satisfied at work, every single area of your life will be impacted. So yeah,
Right.
you can also figure it out. Let's say if you really don't love your work or you really like don't put a lot of effort into personal growth. I think you do. If you listen to the journaling, I think you are on the right path. And then what is cool, what you said about the stack of the papers, right, of each year, that there is this universal law. What gets measured improves.
Correct.
When you put a light of awareness onto something, it will improve. And this is guaranteed.
Yeah, and it goes along with that, what you said earlier about knowing your numbers as well, right? When we measure things, we can begin to track them and then we can improve them. So without knowing your numbers, you can't track something, you can't improve it. It's going to stay in the cloudiness, right? It's like, I don't know. And so by knowing your numbers, you can really get defined. Okay, well, if this is where I am and I'm unhappy, where's my happiness? Where's my joy at? Okay, if it's that, then I can just start to bridge
But
and close the gap.
yeah, but just look at this. Just this simple exercise. It's taking a person from their victim mindset to their victor mindset, right? Because it's so easy to just go like, oh, me, me. Like I'm not even like repeating this.
That's
So
easy.
right,
That's the
it's just
easy
so
part.
easy to be like, and then yeah, I think this is in my friend circle that nobody has this space for this. It's like, okay, what are you gonna do about it? Like move on, right? It's like you are not in the best situation at the moment. Exciting because you can grow from it. Moving on, like what are you doing? What is the action step?
Yeah.
So it's also a lot about it because when you know the numbers, you have the goals, then you can do something.
Yeah. Yeah. And then it'll really show over time really how much you are committed to changing that number because of the words, the thoughts, the actions, the commitments that you take to move that number. Yeah. And one of the really important factors in that wheel of life and is something that's more invisible there, and that's our energy, right? That's around energy management. which is a really important term that's also redefined how we look at how we spend our time, right? Because time management is important for success. We have to spend our time wisely to, reap the good results. Yet, if we don't have the energy, then, nothing's going to work. It doesn't matter how much time you throw at it if your energy is very low, right? So, like by figuring out what drains your energy and what energizes you, this is the key to creating that satisfying life, right? So we want to reduce the things that drain us and increase those that fulfill us, right? So for me, I love to travel. And, during the lockdowns, it was really tough on everybody. Oh, we can't move. And so since now everybody's a bit back to more mobile, uh, I see that it's not only the big trips that I appreciate anymore, right? My appreciation comes way back to just taking the day or the afternoon and even those little weekend trips. It's a little half day. Hey, I went out and I saw this new little town. I had some really great interactions, and I appreciate even more of the small stuff now. And I know as well, my body doesn't want to be plugged in as much, right? And sitting, it wants to get out and move and be active. And so that's really my part of the draining energy there. So, okay, well, that's my trade, right? I will trade more time out to being more unplugged and spend more time and on the things that really build me up, so I can go out in nature and have a walk, or I can go explore a new town or something. And really that's the trade. So you want to be asking yourself, what is that trade for you, and what's the draining energy and the energizing energy, and then figure out how you can add more and then delete more, right?
Yeah, I think this is such an important point that you've made, that it's also highlighting what we said at the beginning, that it's yeah, your work might be draining you. That's why it's important to look into this energy management and what is giving you energy and what is depleting you out of energy. So I fully agree with that. And yeah, so I'm sure that this is something that we'll be talking more about on our Thursday Live on Instagram or on Facebook. And you can also join our group on Facebook. It's called the Joining Community. And to access one of the lives on Instagram, you can follow Brian on mindstate.one or me, your motivated friend. You can find us there and join our lives on Thursday.
Yeah. And then the final exercise for the week, right? Everyone is going to be able to download this document, the Life Wheel, and you can simply print it out, or you can even just put it on your phone and, get a note taker out and just put in those categories and add a number to it. And you can really take a look at where you are at the moment and then figure out, okay, I would like to improve this. I am dissatisfied here, and so let's improve it. How can I do that? And, by taking that look into your current situation and knowing your numbers, then you can improve it by simply tracking it over time. So that is the exercise for the week.
Exactly. And in this episode, you learn about, like the amazing story about the fisherman and the New York City banker, about how to break the scale, the amazing tool, which is called the Wheel of Life. And that will be your homework for this week, and your how to manage your energy and find out what is energizing and what is depleting you. And I think you know that at this point, it's not about work and life balance, but it's all about life satisfaction.
Yeah, so definitely thank you all for joining us on this episode of the Joy Link. Definitely link up to us on Instagram for those lives on Thursdays, and Facebook as well. You can feel free and leave us a coffee as well, because we are still in the month of celebrating Julia's birthday, and she will be donating all of those coffees to her favorite organization, and I can let her tell you all about that.
Yeah, it's Make a Wish, and this organization is fulfilling the dreams of kids, and I think it's kids mostly that they are, yeah, like the last wishes pretty much. So the organization is called Make a Wish. So thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. And I hope you all love your work and you use your beautiful talents and passion to make this world a better place. And I hope that what you do is like that it's aligning with who you are, and yeah, that you just give the talents and you are not depleted by your work. And if you are, then I hope you will find the courage to do something about it. Just make one step at the time, like move in the wheel of life one point at a time.
Right? Yeah, no big jumps needed, yet the awareness is key. And this tool will definitely support you in finding out where you are. And then you can define where you want to be and then get on the move.
Yes,
So,
we believe in you, and have a great day.
yep. Thanks so much, everyone. Till the next time. Ciao.